Hey guys, so I wanted to make a video on a question that someone sent me on social media that I thought was really great because there's a lot of misinformation about this topic. And I was asked, does radio frequency or radio frequency microneedling specifically cause facial fat loss? And I thought this was such a good question because I'm sure a lot of you that are thinking about this treatment will have this question. If you Google online, you might read some things that say it does or doesn't cause it. And I wanted to share a little bit more on this topic with you guys to help educate you a little better to make the right decision for yourselves. So I do this treatment, I perform traditional radio frequency and I perform RF microneedling, so radio frequency microneedling. I have never experienced from either treatment on myself or my clients fat loss because that's not what I use those treatments for. However, radio frequency can definitely help melt fat cells, but you need to get it, the device needs to be extremely hot to get to the subcutaneous layer where the fat is in our body, in our face, wherever. So this is deeper, okay? It needs to be very hot, okay? You have to reach a certain temperature for a certain amount of time, and it's got to be hitting that subcutaneous layer in order to melt fat. So specifically, someone asked me about radio frequency microneedling because they were considering getting the treatment. And I have never experienced this personally. I actually feel like my skin looks a little bit fuller and thicker since doing the treatments because my goal is not to melt facial fat, it's to help tighten, thicken, build collagen. Okay, so the negative reviews or stories you might read online from people that have experienced facial fat loss, the reason is whatever provider they were going to was going too deep on their face. The subcutaneous layer, it depends on the area of the face. It depends on the person, of course, everyone's a little bit different, but it generally ranges from 1.6 millimeters to about 2 millimeters deep. So this is why I generally do not go more than 1.5 on the face, unless the goal for somebody, some people want to melt fat underneath their chin and their jaw. You could go a little bit deeper there if your goal is to help melt a little bit of fat and tighten the skin to get rid of any jowls or double chin or anything if you do have a little bit excess fat there. But deeper is not better when it comes to microneedling or radio frequency microneedling. Deeper does not mean better results. Stronger radio frequency energy doesn't mean better results. We want to get enough inflammation and trauma to create an immune response so that our body heals itself. That's the goal of the treatment. It builds new granulation tissue. Okay, so it's building new healthy skin tissue. It's allowing that to push up to the surface. But if you use too much heat energy, if you're going too deep, you're causing unnecessary trauma to the skin, and that is not good. Okay, so that's why, like, when people come to see me, you can trust that I'm gonna keep the treatment parameters safe, but also results driven. We are not going to over traumatize or over compromise the skin because that is not the goal of the treatment. But I wanted to share both sides with you because radio frequency can help melt fat, but for me, that's generally not the goal unless we're doing a body treatment on someone's abdomen or legs or something like that. And melting fat, the traditional radio frequency handpieces are gonna be better for that than radio frequency microneedling. Okay, but it depends how deep you're going and how much energy you're using. So if I'm trying to melt fat on the body, I'm obviously gonna be going a lot deeper and I'm gonna turn that energy up so we can get to that subcutaneous fat layer where your fat is stored. That's where you could have fat loss, okay? But no, the answer, in my opinion, would be no. I don't think that if the treatment is done correctly, that you are gonna have facial fat loss. It should actually help thicken your skin, and it should help tighten the skin, so your skin should feel tighter and plumper after the treatment. So I just wanted to share a little bit more about that because I thought it was a great topic to talk about. So hopefully this helps you guys in deciding. But if you have any other questions about radio frequency or radio frequency microneedling, please let me know and I'd love to answer them for you.